One of the important things we have to keep in mind is that we have to go beyond diet and fitness, that just learning about nutrition and just learning about exercise is not sufficient. In fact, most people that have come to Structure House over the years readily admit they know that. So I recognized that we had to do something more, do something different from all those other approaches. That really is all combined in the Structure House Weight Loss Plan book. What we talk about in terms of the Structure House book is the fact that we all develop a relationship with food, and I think that makes sense. All of us develop a different kind of a relationship. There are no two alike. We're all unique in that regard, just like all your personal relationships are unique. Even when you have children, I've never heard a parent say that if they have 2 children, 3 children, 4 children, they never say that all those relationships with those children are the same. They always are different and unique in some fashion. And so it is with food. And what we have to do is learn what that unique relationship with food is all about, and then by using structure, how to change that. And that's what the Structure House book is all about. One of the things we have to realize in success of weight loss and weight control is that we have to minimize our exposure to food. The more exposure to food we have, the more problematic it can be. And so we have learned over the years, and this is based on our 30-plus years of work with more than 30,000 people, that we have to focus on what I call structured eating. Now, structured eating is eating 3 nutritious meals a day with no snacks between, no snacks after dinner. As a matter of fact, there's some good research data that shows that when people minimize their exposure to food, they, in fact, do much better in losing weight and keeping that weight off. Why that is so important is that what we are really trying to do, and what structured eating is trying to do, is show us what our unique relationship with food is all about. And by maintaining our nutrition within the context of 3 meals a day, then when we use food between meals, we use food after dinner, we can begin to see how food happens in our life. As soon as we begin to see how food happens, we can begin to learn what our unique relationship with food is all about, and then we can begin to understand what to do about it. Sometimes people feel that this is difficult to do, that they've been so accustomed to eating more. The reality is this. I've had men here, for example, at Structure House, who have come in weighing 300 pounds. They, much to their surprise, are eating 1,600 calories a day, 3 meals a day, not eating between meals, not eating after dinner, and they find out that they can do it, and they can do it easily, and they enjoy it. So it really can be done. How would you start doing this at home? Something I have always told my patients: you have to take the baby steps, small steps, 1 step at a time. In this case, we have 21 meals in the week. Let's do 1 meal at a time. In our working with people, in terms of trying to get them to become comfortable with exercise and enjoying exercise and finding it valuable, are a whole series of excuses or reasons that they might present as to why they can't exercise. They don't have the right clothing. They feel uncomfortable going someplace. They don't like sweating. They don't have the time. It's understandable that you cannot start from step 1 and be anywhere like those folks you see in those gyms, coming out of those gyms, in those sleek outfits. They have a towel hanging around their neck. They obviously have sweated a great deal. We're not looking to do that. What we're again looking to do is focusing on what I call baby steps, the small steps, 1 step at a time. There's always something we can do. Taking a walk around the block, walking down a corridor, taking a walk around 2 blocks, walking it down 2 corridors. We take it a step at a time. We gradually develop our exercise to the point where we're beginning to feel more comfortable doing this. We're beginning to feel more capable of doing this. The critical part of all this is that so often people try to do too much too soon, particularly when it comes to exercise. So it's important that we begin to develop a comfort level with our exercise. Start at whatever level you possibly can, because in the long run, exercise always proves to be very critical in long-term success. As a matter of fact, many people that have been at Structure House and gone home tell me that exercise is really the glue. So the Structure House book really allows you to begin to develop a step-by-step exercise plan. One of the things that people have liked about my Structure House book is that there are many vignettes, many statements that people who have been to Structure House make about how they feel about it, their experience at Structure House, the results they've achieved as a result of being at Structure House. Let me give you one story of a lady that really endeared herself to all of us. She was about 80 when she came to us, one of our oldest people that have ever come to us. And she had been married for a great many years to a man that was very controlling, would never let her do anything, would not let her develop a life of her own, interests of her own. He really demanded that she be there for him. He had died recently, and she finally felt freed. And she looked at herself and recognized that she had weight to lose. And one of the things that she always wanted to do was to ride in a hot air balloon. But she took a look at doing that, and at her weight and her level of agility with that weight, she realized she could not climb into the basket to do this. And so she came to us, worked at the program, worked very hard, lost a significant amount of weight. A couple of months down the line after she left us, we got a wonderful, wonderful letter in the mail from her telling us that she had finally taken that hot air balloon ride. And it was so wonderful to see that. This is what Structure House has done for people. They allowed them to do things that they have not done for years. And the Structure House book shows you how to accomplish that, and it also shares with you stories of people who have done it. Sometimes people wonder whether or not the Structure House weight loss plan is something they can accomplish. We have had people come to us, and they have told us that the surprising thing is that they are able to do this so comfortably. They discover that all the things we ask people to do, and they're all listed in the book, are things that can be done at home, and can be done successfully. And I think that is so dramatic. People realize that what they're learning at Structure House are things that they might have heard before, but they've never had the opportunity to have it pulled all together for them. And that's what the Structure House book does. It really does pull all these various bits of information together. And people discover that this is not a struggle to do, that all the things we ask people to do are things that they have done. As a matter of fact, in many cases, they've done it before. Let me give you an example. We have a diary, a Structure House diary. We talk about that at length in the Structure House book. We even provide a page that they can actually copy for themselves and use for themselves. It's a diary that we've designed for our purposes. Now, the reality is that they look at a diary and they say, oh no, not another food diary. Well, it's not quite a food diary. Not only that, the thing I like to point out is that most people keep some kind of a diary. It's a planner, it's a day planner, it's a schedule. They might take care of their car, and they take care of it in good shape. They have all the records on their car, when they had it in for service, repairs they've had on it. That's something we do every day in life. You run a small business, whatever the case may be. You keep track of all your expenses, all your revenue. You work at a company. You keep track of all your receipts that you might use on your income tax. We're all in the habit of keeping records, and that is the important part of the Structure House book. What you realize as you read it is this, that these are things you've done before, and you've done many times in different ways. What we're doing with the Structure House book is bringing it all together and applying it to you as an individual.